Story comes out. FBI launches criminal investigations of John Brennan, James Comey, over Trump-Russia probe, DOJ sources. Okay, and this is moments after they released the fact that nothing had happened with Jeffrey Epstein. Former CIA Director John Brennan faces an FBI investigation prompted by criminal referral from a current director, John Ratcliffe, for potential false statements to Congress regarding the 2016 Trump-Russia probe, with a newly surfaced email showing Brennan insisted, "My bottom line is that I believe the information warrants inclusion in the report for the discredited Steele dossier. Despite warnings, it did not meet even the most basic tradecraft standards for CIA tradecraft review," noted Brennan. Ex-FBI Director James Comey and the Director of National Intelligence, James Clapper, were excessively involved in a chaotic, atypical process to rush the assessment. Ex-FBI Director James Comey is also under FBI investigation for unspecified potential criminal conduct related to the Trump-Russia probe, with DOJ sources describing the roles of Comey and Brennan as conspiracy and the CIA review, and stating FBI leadership made it clear that their participation in the intelligence community assessment hinged on the dossier inclusion, and over the next few days repeatedly pushed to weave references to it throughout the main body of the CIA. Rob, which video do you have? Is this?
So I have John Brennan on MSNBC. I also have President Trump responding to the charges.
Go for it.
Which one would you like?
Let's start off with Brennan first.
Okay.
I keep thinking, okay, this is the authoritarian playbook. We've seen this play out so many times, and unfortunately, I think we're seeing it play out. And a number of academics and writers have pointed out, and Carl Schmitt, who was a German jurist, political philosopher, and writer in the 1930s, his thesis, which Nazi Germany basically took up, was don't worry about doing something that is ethical or principled or good or right.
Is this what he's
Do
saying
whatever you
after
can
this?
to win.
Is he
vanquish
serious?
your adversaries, vanquish your enemies. And unfortunately, we have seen that happening overseas. We've seen it in Viktor Orban in Hungary. We've seen it with Vladimir Putin. We see it in China, other places. We see it also in terms of, some of the foreign policies that are being implemented,
So
including,
funny. Exactly.
in the Middle East right now.
So I can't listen to this. Keep going. What's this one? You're right.
This one, Vinny said.
So this is Mark Elias. He is a liar, whatever you want to call him. He was a lawyer that worked at he was at Perkins Coie, who laundered Clinton's campaign money to fund the whole operation and wrapped it in a leak. They were behind the whole Steele dossier.
This guy to the left?
And he's telling the media, don't report this. Don't watch this. Well, I fast forward. Yeah, you can go. You can play it.
And others that we were going to get to this moment. And the question is, what do we do? And the question of what we do is multifaceted. The first question is, what do we do? Do we retreat and hide in the corner? So I'm on TV today, not hiding in the corner. I'm not retreating. I'm saying I'm going to stand up and I'm fight. And Donald Trump won't intimidate me by going back to this 2016 stuff. And that's one thing. But the other thing we've talked about is, what do large institutions do? What do civil society groups do? What does the media do? And I am imploring, honestly, I'm just imploring the media, do not report this as a legitimate investigation. Do not report this as they're opening a investigation into John Brennan.
He knows what he's done. He knows what he's done.
Report this as the misuse, the abuse, the authoritarian takeover of the Department of Justice.
Unbelievable.
That should be the headline. The headline should be, in a misuse and abuse of the power of the executive branch, Donald Trump has asked his Department of Justice to
He's one of the main guys behind the Steele dossier.
Into John Brennan.
That's one of the main guys.
So what did Trump say, Rob?
Here's President Trump says yesterday. Here he is.
Hey, President Trump. James Comey and John Brennan now under criminal investigation related to the Trump-Russia probe. Do you want to see these two guys behind bars?
Well, I know nothing about it other than what I read today, but I will tell you, I think they're very dishonest people. I think they're crooked as hell, and maybe they have to pay a price for that. I believe they are truly bad people and dishonest people. So whatever happens, happens.
Interesting. Vinny, thoughts on this?
Okay, so, obviously they launched the investigation. Brennan, who, by the John yesterday, the CIA guy that you had on there, told us what type of person this guy really is.
He worked with them.
He worked with him.
And
what was the main thing he said? He is a bad guy all around.
Day one, yeah.
From day one in that faces. So he lies to Congress, and then his own two top CIA guys told him not to touch the Steele dossier. Okay, they said that it was internet trash, and he still pushed it anyway. Comey knew it was fake, and he still weaponized the FBI to go after Trump. And then here's the thing. What's up with Hillary Clinton? She's not just part of it. She started this entire thing that ran this country to the ground for what, Tom? They're still talking about it.
Exactly.
For those 4 years, it was horrible. She's the head of the snake, okay? Her campaign paid for the Steele dossier, okay, and then lied about it. And guess what the fine was? When they finally say, okay, you're guilty and the DNC is guilty, guess how much she had to pay? $8,000. Guess what the DNC got fined? $105,000. That's that whole scandal, the whole Russia, collusion, Trump, all that nonsense. They basically got a really expensive parking ticket for global disinformation. And if we're going to talk about this, guys, we have to look at everybody. And I'm going to list the names that they should, if this is opening like this, they should go after Hillary, Jake Sullivan, Barack Obama, Joe Biden, Susan Rice, Andrew McCabe. These are all FBI guys. Peter Strzok, Joseph Pientka, Lisa Page, who was Peter Strzok's girlfriend while he was married. I think she was married as well. Sally Yates.
We call that mistress in France.
Yeah, mistress, exactly. Lisa Monaco, Christopher Steele, Igor Danchenko, Bruce, and Nellie Orr, who were lawyers. Stephen Halper, Glenn Simpson, Peter Frisch, who was Fusion GPS, and Loretta Lynch, and James Clapper. These people were all a part of this conspiracy.
You left out Bolton.
Oh, did I even say them? Michael Sussman and Mark Elias and Mark Bowen. These guys, and that's why I don't want people to forget. We move on and we forget. Think about it. COVID, all this stuff, all the vaccine injury, all the shit that they did to us, it's kind of like old news. The stuff with Jeffrey Epstein, they're trying to push us away. Especially this one. This was one of the biggest scandals, Tom. This was worse than Watergate. If you think about it, the sitting president with everybody else around him, with Hillary Clinton, the number one rival, started a fake campaign to get FISA warrants to go after these people to make Trump look like he was a Russian asset. Unfreaking believable.
Unbelievable. And I don't care how big the fine was. There was a fine. And so
what does that mean?
So guess what? A court or a tribunal of jurisdiction found that you did something wrong and you got a fine. I don't care how big the fine was. There was a fine connected to it, and it proved the dossier was manufactured and wrong and was used to prevent an opponent from winning an election.
Yeah, Pat, is that technically treason? Like what you're doing? Like doing that with an actual presidential freaking campaign. You went in there. By the way, they were spying on Trump. They were spying on him. It started with Obama with this freaking guy right there. And it's like, if this turns out, Pat.
Do you know what was interesting about the story yesterday with John Kiriakou, who was the only CIA officer ever to be arrested for 23 months because he came out as a whistleblower talking about the waterboarding that he was a part of. You know what's an interesting thing he said? The fact that all the CIA guys, the major players, he became the number 3 guy, John Brennan, and the top 2 guys went and aligned themselves with Hillary, saying Hillary's the one that's going to become the president. He was the only guy that didn't align himself with Hillary. He went with Obama. And he aligns himself with Obama, and Obama becomes president. When he becomes president, he was going to be the director of CIA at first. They're like, no, this guy's too crazy. We can't do that. There's too many people that don't like him. He gave him a different job, and then eventually came up. So behind all of this, the one person that's quietly hoping this doesn't get any traction is one guy, and that's Barack Obama.
Yep.
Forget about Brennan. Brennan's going to be like, yeah, whatever, go, But Obama, if this comes out, more things they find out, and Obama's name is attached to this, not just Hillary, that Obama was also helping orchestrate. We already know it, but I'm talking about even at a higher level where things are being revealed. It's not going to be a good look for those guys. Adam, your thoughts on this?
So let me just pan out a little bit here. By the way, I saw the interview you did with Kiriakou. He said Brennan was the guy that was sort of encouraging the waterboarding. He's like, yes, let's get him, let's kill him.
Brennan was the one that he had a meeting every week.
Every
Tuesday to talk about the kill list. There was a kill list. Yeah. You type in Brennan kill list, Rob. There was a kill list on every Tuesday where he would approve who are we killing this week.
All right.
This is the New Yorker that wrote this article that Obama knew about this. John Brennan's kill list. Every Tuesday there was a meeting on who we're killing this week. But go ahead. Yes, this is John Brennan.
So that's Brennan. But what I want to do is actually focus on Trump for a second. What I got to give Trump a lot of credit for is Trump 2.0 is completely different than Trump 1.0. Even the response he did when he talked about
I know nothing
Brennan,
about this.
He's just like, look, it's so much more measured and disciplined and mature that people like me that were not fans of Trump 8 years ago, 10 years ago.
Except when you ask him about Epstein. But for the most part, yes, keep going.
Why do we talk about that creepy
we'll
guy?
show that in a minute as well.
But Trump is a lot more measured. This is his, people think this is his second time around. Technically, it's his third time around. Why? He had 4 years to watch what Biden was doing.
Yep.
And if you ever see that that clip where Kamala is speaking and he's tweeting in real time and he's like, say this,
Yes.
do this.
Yes.
We saw a little tiny glimpse of what he did. He probably did that for 4 years, watching what's going on. I would do this differently. Here's what I would do here. I kind of messed this one up. He watched game film. And Trump is not a rookie anymore. Trump 2.0 is a lot more measured, and he trusts his cabinet a lot more. He has sort of loyalists in the cabinet at this point, but he's not making what I would call self-inflicted mistakes like he did the first time. You might say that, Epstein was a self-inflicted mistake. We'll have that conversation. But Trump, in my opinion, is a lot more mature and grown up and handling the presidency way better than the first time.
I fully agree on the way it's being handled. However, going back to this, Vinny, go ahead.
But do you guys think the timing, and again, just off of coincidences, everything that's happening with Epstein, the day before, Trump was like, stop talking about Epstein. Let it go, which I'm not going to ever let it go. Isn't it weird that all this stuff starts happening? Like, they announced this Brennan thing to make everybody go, hey, look over here. Because if you think about it.
I'm not buying that bullshit.
Adam, but hold on.
Okay,
if
go
this
ahead.
turns into, then let's.
That's like saying, I already see where you're going. Let me just cut you off for 1 second. That's like saying that anytime there's a news cycle, when a news story shows up, you could always say, well, they're using it to escape the rumors from this one. Every single time you're going to do that.
I don't.
But meaning, like, anytime there's a story, I guarantee you, the next day, there's be another story.
It's called the world. But something of this magnitude, which is trying to.
I don't even think this Brennan thing is that big of a story.
Which is
if
sad,
you're saying that this is the cover-up.
No, Adam, because you know why it is? Trump won, and then they all conspired to get him out. And dude, that's freaking treason. What are we talking about? You want to talk about election interference? He won. And then they all got together and said, you know what? Spy on his ass. Fine, bring me fake ass information to get a sitting president out. It is a huge deal, but that
is a huge deal. I do agree, but that's not the reason that they brought this story up to escape the Epstein rumor list.
I hope you prove me wrong.
We have a goal of 1 million people wearing the Future Looks Bright gear. The brand's becoming more and more recognizable. Very excited about it with what's going on. So what we're announcing today, I don't know if you're aware of this category that is now on vtmerch.com for certain selected hats. That's a buy one, get one free. You buy one at $34.99, you get the second one for free. Rob, if you can go to it so the audience can see it. These are the hats that are on there. You simply add one and then add another one, and the second one will automatically, from this category, be added in the buy one, get one free. Rob, does a video work on the other side?
Yes.
Can you go to that one to show some of the hats? These are the hats that are in the category of it. The PBD podcast, you got the Valuetainment logo one. That's sick. The OG one, blue, keep going. Black PBD podcast, keep going. The red one,
sick.
Yeah, the U.S. flag. These are Future Looks Bright. Red one, keep going. Military camo, the black on black. There's a blue one that looks. The blue one, we don't have a lot left. The blue one's going to go very quickly. I shouldn't have said that.
There you go.
The pink ones that also, every time people ask about the pink ones, they disappear. Keep going. That's a sick one. Yeah, that's the blue one.
That's the one.
That's the blue one. Keep going.
What's it called? Royal? Not royal.
I think it's like a royal blue-ish. But the idea is buy one, get one free. Guys, sport it. Give it as gifts to others. If you're running a sales office, order 50 of them and give it to your guys. Anyways, go to vtmerch.com. Place your order of the hats. We have 1 million people we want wearing Future Looks Bright. We are nearing 300,000 people right now that are wearing the gear. We're 700,000 away of people wearing the Future Looks Bright gear. Go place your order. And as always, we're going to have a few additional prizes that we'll put in there as well. The Future Looks Bright sticker, magnet, a couple other things that will be added to it.
If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.